Hey, Shalom, Akim, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the whole elect. Newest than gospel, brother, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is the Akim Mahaloya coming back with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord's will to be edifying. This is from Josh the Remnant Rescue Ministries. It says with another Bible prophecy update. I assume this guy's a Christian. Okay, Edomite Christian, which, you know, we've been back and forth with the Christians for years, defending the gospel, okay, based on their tainted perception of the Holy Scriptures. But you have those few Christians out there that actually go and look into Bible prophecy. Even if they don't fully understand the prophecies, they do know that Revelation 13 and 16, according to the scriptures, is talking about none other than this micro C-hip. The brother Cali from Cali, Mike Allen, did a lesson, and I was actually watching it on how, what is it called, the Charagma, Charaxin, Grapho lineup with the RFID C-hip. And we've done several breakdowns on that, going into the 666, going into the image of the beast, going into the MARK, you know, breaking these things down in elaborate details. But yet men still choose to buck up against it. And, you know, it's all good and fine and dandy because you can see that these other groups are waxing worse and worse. All right, because the Spirit of the Lord is not dealing with these other groups as far as on the whole. He give them some revelations about who the 12 tribes are. And now they're preaching Israel. But it's from a tainted perspective because they're not pushing 100% truth. So this video here, it says, dollar crash, internet censorship, CBDC, mark of the you-know-what incoming. As the brother, good brother of mine, actually, he was part of the camp for a while. Then he moved to a different state. But, he's still in contact. He's still in the group chat with us because, he's still part of the family, still part of the GMS Kansas City branch. And he basically told me today, he was like, well, this class he's taking with this whole new internet shit and cable, he stated that you can tell that they setting up for the micro C-hip. And he said within 6 to 12 months, you can see this technology severely advancing. Okay. So what we've been speaking and prophesying regarding this prophecy, this is a major prophecy, okay, that's predicated on our salvation, because there's going to come a time that the men of the Lord will be persecuted for speaking against this thing and coming out, exposing these devils, and also refusing this MARK. Okay, your salvation depends on it. But as you look at the way that the world is going with the digital, but by digital means, digital transactions, they have to come up with the decision to raise the debt limit within another week before the U.S. totally default on its loans and its bills. And then a month after, they setting up the Fed Now program. So you see where this is going. Everything is going digital. So it's plausible to understand that they will eventually try to put everything on a micro C-hip. And this will be the control all, end all, be all before Yahweh Shai comes back and set up the kingdom of heaven on earth. So this is a video. It's pretty long, about 9 minutes long, but I'm going to interject here and there. Okay, certain points he make, I'm going to capitalize on certain points and bring out certain facts. And of course, we're going to get the scriptures, but I'm not going to play it all the way through. Okay, because I know Jake, the attention span is pretty short. But anyway, let's play a couple of minutes, interject, a couple of precepts, and, what we do. So here we go.
To this video, and hey, look, guys, we are one day closer to the implementation of a central bank digital currency that I've been talking about over the last couple of weeks, and one step closer to the implementation of this beast system that will demand worship, false worship, and your refusal to go along with the false system of worship will result in them at the flip of a switch just being able to shut off your money. They are putting in place, shared yesterday, information about this Senate bill. I think it's like S686, that is the TikTok ban bill, but is really a full internet censorship and system of penalties bill. Now, hey,
You see, and that's the reason why they're going to shut down the internet or give you restrictive means, because for the simple fact, this information that's coming out, and they don't want anybody to be privy to this information. But see, it's too late, because whether you shut the internet down or not, people, they already know about this. Okay, the warning has been going out. So now we're just adding more and more into it. So you can shut the internet down next week. The fact that we've done countless of videos on this topic for the warning to be out there, to be penetrative enough. So you can shut down the internet. Honestly, we looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? Because when you take us off the scenes and when the ministry is shut down as far as a collective, going out on the streets and teaching online, then, you know, the judgment will come. But as long as the men of the Lord are out there, there's still time to repent. So another thing we have to look forward to, and this is just, I speak as a man when I say this, you have to understand that the Lord is not going to bring the full judgment until he takes us off the scene and until this C-hip comes to pass. Because that's the point. Lord is fucking people up, you know, and bringing these prophecies to pass, but the prophets are still on the scene warning you about it. Prophets have to be taken off the scene, okay? But then at the same time, Moses was on the scene when the plagues came. So you are going to have plagues and so forth that will hit while we're out speaking, and things that's happening in the world as we're seeing, okay? The institution between the Ukrainian war and NATO, you see what I'm saying? Then Israel and Iran, those things are going to escalate. Okay, more famines, more pestilence, those things will come to pass. But ultimately, I believe once they implement this thing, that's when they're going to shut down the internet. All right, so he makes an interesting point. And my point is, why can't you other groups see this, man? And it's not the fact that you can't see it, it's the fact you won't allow yourselves to see it because your infatuation and your hatred and your pride against the men of the great millstone. Because that's what it's ultimately about. Okay, it's not about waking up the elect. It's not about trying to teach the word of the Lord. It's about your own personal gain and about what you can gain from it. Going into that little fiasco yesterday between the IUIC and the ISUPK. If you guys are really about teaching the elect, you just would have went to separate corners and you would have said, you know what, we're going to agree to disagree, to come to, and not saying come together, but you know what, we'll leave the corner and we'll go down to another corner because it's important to reach our people, instead of being a bunch of demons, man. All right. But anyway, let's get a couple of precepts here. This is the book of Habakkuk 2:1. And it says, and I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will wait to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. What is a watchman? A person that stands upon that watch, a person that gives warning from impending danger. Okay, so the men of the Lord, before they were considered prophets, they were called seers. A seer is just another way of saying a prophet, man. Okay, and we're foreseeing and foretelling you of the events that's going to come on the planet Earth. Okay, they're talking about famine at record-breaking levels, man. They're talking about the famine that's going to make the famine of ancient Egypt look like a day at the grocery store, man. That's how bad it's going to get out here, because they're going to ration the food off. They're going to control certain shit. They're going to have grids set up. Okay, they're going to have processing centers set up. And they already have these things up and running. It's just a matter of time before everything shifts into play. Because one day everything going to seem normal, and then one day you just going to get, your door just going to fly down and they're going to come in with the guns blazing. Get on the ground. Okay, you've been accused of high treason or whatever they're going to try to frame you people with, including the men of the Lord, including us. Okay, but we understand that, you know, we're going to get delivered through those things. But for the masses of you, you're not going to make it. All right. And it says, and Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. It says, for yet the vision is yet for an appointed time. An appointed time is a specified point of time. Okay, a certain time. But at the end it shall speak and not lie. And it's not lying. Okay. What it tells you in Romans, it says, roughly paraphrase, it says, just because you believe that making the Most High is a liar? No. God forbid, let every man be a liar, but how about you, how shall be true? Okay, because right now, this is blatantly evident that this is going to be what they're going to use to control everything around us, man. out of so-called convenience, because they're going to sell it to you out of convenience. Okay, and then after the convenience factor wear off, then they're going to sell it to you out of necessity. After that wears off, they're going to sell it to you out of sheer desperation and by gunpoint, because this thing will be implemented through bloodshed. Okay, just like they did with the jab. Okay, it was voluntary at first, and before you know it, they came up with all these and conjured up all these other particular situations to make people afraid to not deal with it, because they was afraid of the penalties that came with not taking it. Okay, result, 36 million people died later, you know. But this situation is going to be forced through bloodshed, because they're going to go around, they're going to go door to door, and they already came to the table, I believe, this week, the elites, about setting up a national surveillance system for the new, you know what, for the new demic that's on the rise. Some people say 2025. Some people stated that it's starting now. We just have to wait to see. But the WHO already set provisions for a globalized future for a surveillance type setup. So that way every man, woman, and child on the planet Earth will be tracked. And how are they going to do that? Through the micro C-hip, man. You see? And it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and it shall not lie. Though it tarry, because it seems that it's tarrying, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So, hey, brothers, look, the Lord is getting ready to set up the kingdom, man. I don't know how unreal that is to you other groups, but it just dawned on me when the brother sent a text message. I'm like, damn, we're really finna get up out of here. We're really at the end of our captivity, bro. We're really getting ready to go through the most challenging times ever to befall this planet Earth. And then after that, we're going into the most glorious time that you can't even fathom. Your best dreams can't even put a cap on it, man. Because every day in the kingdom is going to be just a new breathtaking experience. It's going to be something new every day. Can you brothers and you few sisters fathom living in eternity and righteousness and happiness and peace and prosperity with all our people? Every single Israelite, from the least to the greatest, will be in their right mind. Do you not understand the gravity that we're getting ready to go through? Do you not understand that this man Esau has an understanding of that to some sort? That's why he's getting ready to go all out, man. Esau is going to do what he can do to try to break our faith, because he does not want us partaking in that glorious kingdom. And this is the reason why we tell you brothers out there, man, to get serious, man. You know what I'm saying? The day of the Lord, don't hold that shit off, bro. It's not a light thing, man. We got to be mentally ready for this, because when it comes, it's going to come crashing. And when it crashes, it's going to crash hard, bro. And like Elder Wamba say, it's not going to be fair. It's not going to be fair. You think these people giving us madness now for what we believe in? Wait till they turn the world against us. Motherfuckers want to have our head. They will put bounties out on the men of the Lord. And you see why we going to have spiritual power. But fuck it. I welcome it, man. You know, let's do it, because you know what? At the end of the day, you people ain't going to prevail, because you live a lie. You're lying, and the truth is not in you. So we have nothing to worry about. Yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable to the flesh. They lying on you, making up lies and false allegations, make you look bad. But you know what? You're just going to shed that. You're going to shed that fickleness, man. Lord going to break that shit out of us, man. To the point we ain't going to give a damn who say what or who do what. We just want you to come try it. You know, because I fail to believe that Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to allow us to suffer worse than these niggas out here and these demons, these Edomites. They the ones that have to worry, not us. All right. So we're going back to the video. Here we go.
Here's what I think is happening. I think that they're absolutely going to torch the economy. They already have. They've already, run up the debt so far that I'm not a finance guy. I'm not an economics guy, but I know $31+ trillion of debt is unsustainable. This always had a predictable end. And what is coming is a collapse of the dollar. Stitch of the video, the president of Kenya made a statement. I think it was posted on the 22nd, so sometime last week, about, hey, you've got a couple weeks.
And you see, the Most High is using the Edomite to bring out, he's basically validating what we've been saying all the time. The Lord like, well, you know what, man? Y'all ain't believing it from my men. So I set up a base of men that said, and he could be a Jake. I don't know. I mean, he don't give me the spirit of a Jake, but just to get a man a benefit of the doubt. Regardless of that, Yahweh Shem Shai is using what it appears to be a heathen to bring out this information. Okay, because didn't Balaam prophesied about the glory of Israel? I believe that's like Numbers, the 24th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. The Lord showed him what was going to befall our nation in the future, and stated that only if he said he would give up everything to just be one of us, because the Lord showed him. So this present evil world was only temporal, brothers, man. Yeah, it gets to us. It sucks. It's hard. It's hard to bear. But when you really think of the blessings compared to the curses, what we're going to get, the blessings totally out mitigate the evil that we befell these last thousands of years, man, as a nation. Yeah, it sucks because right now the curses definitely out mitigate the blessings right now in the condition we're in, but that's not going to always be the case. Okay, our Lord is getting ready to come back and deliver us finally. We ain't got no 100 years to go. We ain't got no 50 years to go. We ain't got 30 years. I'm calling this shit, man, through the spirit. I believe Yahweh Shai will be back within the next few short years, man. Probably sooner than that, depending on how everything goes. By the end of this year, I'll say this. By the end of this year and somewhat next year, we would be able to determine from that point how this shit is going to move, man. Okay, because once they get this digital system up, they're going to start moving quick. They got to. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts, because it's not up to Esau. It's up to Yahweh Shai how this thing is going to play out, man. Okay, so let's get this in the book of Job. I think it's Job 14. And I'm going to start at verses 5. It says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Okay, so he already has an appointed time that he said to go down. Okay, Esau's not going to last a day longer or a day later or a day earlier. It says, thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Okay, so that's the point. He cannot go beyond what the Most High has said. The Lord has put this man on a time crunch, and the Lord's like, look, man, go and do it quick. Okay, the NWO agenda is started from 2060, 2035, 2030. Now, allegedly, they're accelerating from 2030 to 2025. Now, how that's going to work, we don't know. If Esau give himself to 2025, that means that the Lord basically cut that shit down in half. Okay, because we know Esau, when Esau gives himself a time frame, the Lord cut that shit down. Oh, no, nigga, you ain't going 2060, I'll give you 2030. And I'm not saying that's when it's going to go down, but we're just speaking. I'm speaking as a man. But 2060, Lord, like, nah, 2030. He put on a spirit to say the 2030 agenda. So even then, let's just say if we make it out of this decade, shit, you better believe after 2030, if we make it that far, it's going to be some shit, man. Then 2030 may come and go like we thought, years and years, 2012, 2015, we thought those were going to be the years. And here, before another 10 years and came by. But I don't think that's the case. But it's called hastening in the day of the Lord. Okay, but regardless, the Lord has cut this man time in half because he knows that he has a short time. All right, this is the book of Revelation, the 12th chapter, 12th verse. We're all familiar with this. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down into you having great wrath, because he knoweth he have but a short time. Now, when you go back into an interview back in 2007, it was a guy by the name of Aaron Russo. Okay, I believe he was not on the Alex Jones show, but he was interviewing. I believe he was being interviewed by like a producer, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while since I've seen it. But basically, he said he got the plan of the elites from the elites' mouth themselves, man. Okay, he said Nick Rockefeller told him that the whole war on terror, all that was all cap just to bring about this totalitarian state. Okay, and that they wanted to put this device in everybody and control everybody. And he was initiated into that order. But, Aaron Russo, he refused. And then, down the line, I believe he died from some type of illnesses. Who knows? But that's where we at with it, man. So you other groups, keep playing games with the Lord. You're going to get caught up in this, man. All right. I'm going to bring out one more precept and I'm going to play the rest of the video and then we're going to end it. This is the book of 2 Esdras 9. And I'm going to start at verses 4. It says here, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Okay. Now, the micro seed hit was prophesied about in the book of Revelation 2,000 years ago. Because remember, the Lord said that I bring things new, roughly paraphrasing it. I declare things unto you and things that have not come to pass yet. Okay, so in the ancient world, nobody was speaking on the MOTB because this, remember, this is Mystery Babylon the Great. Okay, but in the book of Revelation, the Lord gave him that vital piece of information at that time because it was for an appointed time for him to bring it out. Okay, because it was relevant to the time we're coming into. Okay, which shows you the mystery of this whore, of this beast being America. Okay, so it makes sense, man. All right, so I'm going to end it there, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh. Matter of fact, 5, it says, for like all that is made in the world hath the beginning and the end is made manifest. Even so, times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. And everyone that should be saved, shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby he had believed, and shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders. For I have sanctified them from me from the beginning. Then they shall be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments, man. So, hey, you Jakes out there that's playing games with the word of the Heavenly Father, hey, you can forget about it, man. You need to repent and get in the spirit, or the Lord is going to destroy you. And with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim and Yahweh Shai. And with that, Shalom and the Baba Ball. Shalom.
For those that are hoarding dollars, you got a couple weeks, and so that's gelling with everything else that I'm hearing, that countries around the world, and we don't hear about it. The United States media doesn't talk about this, and we don't hear that other countries are dumping the dollar. That 90% of the countries in the world, the 90% of the economies in the world are joining the BRICS nations. They're not going to be trading for dollars to buy oil and to trade amongst themselves. They are going to be trading in the Chinese yuan. And we also know that the implementation of the quantum financial system, all of these things that we're going to hear about in the coming weeks and months, and they're going to be trading and settling debts and settling business between countries in cryptocurrency and in this new quantum financial system. So what does that mean for you? That means that whatever you do that you need to prepare, I'm not going to advise you on that. I'm figuring that out for myself and for my family, what you're going to do to prepare financially. I can't tell you any of those. But here's what I can advise you on. You can pray. You can pray for the days and weeks and months that are ahead, because we are going to go through some rough waters, I think. And here's what I know. The God that is seeing us safely through these relative times of peace will be the same God that will see us through the turbulent time. And gang, we have what's coming in the next couple weeks and couple months is just going to scratch the surface. Daniel chapter 12 verse 1 says, "Then a time of trouble shall come upon this earth, as has never been seen before, but God's people will be delivered from that time of trouble." So check it out. This is going to be a time that is going to try men's souls. Jesus says that men's hearts will fail for fear of what is coming upon this planet, this earth. And so now is the time for us to draw near to the Lord with a humble heart. Draw near to him. And hey, I've said it often, Isaiah 29 verse 6, when God's judgments are in the land, his people learn righteousness. And I pray that in these next couple weeks and months to come, that you would draw closer to the Lord, that you would return to him with your whole heart. If you have sort of fallen asleep in your faith, wake up. If you've drifted away, come back to him and return to him with your whole heart. He wants your whole heart.
That's enough of that.
With people now desperate to do it.
Because he's on that Christian shit. We ain't on that.
And time waits for no one. So have a blessed night. Just had to come on. Usually do a morning video, but had to come on and share these things with you. So we'll see you tomorrow.
For the people who work numbers, I am giving you free advice that those of you who are holding dollars, you surely might go into losses. You better do what you must do, because this market is going to be different in a couple of weeks.
So someone was very upset in one of my comments when I said it doesn't matter, you won't be able to fight back. Let me explain to you exactly what I meant. I'm sure everyone saw the president of Kenya who made a warning to everyone, an announcement, and said that if you hold dollars, you probably want to get rid of them as fast as possible, because in a few weeks, everything's going to change. So let me explain. Here's what happens when the Saudis and OPEC dump the dollar as the international reserve currency for petroleum. Day one, the markets will immediately start to tank. Inflation within a week, maybe two, will start to rise by 50 to 70%. Everyday items that you could walk in the grocery store and grab will now be so expensive you're barely walking out with 2 or 3 things. The dollar at that point will be worthless, because it was at one time on the gold standard and it was taken off. The only thing the dollar had before was that it now was backed by oil, and that's now gone. So the US dollar at that point will have absolutely no value. Next, Congress will try to implement some type of pricing control. They'll immediately pass through some sort of bill which will do everything in its power to keep pricing low. This will cover everything from groceries, goods, services, utilities. But at that point, the damage will already be done. Here's where their problem begins. Within a few weeks, about 70% of the population of the U.S. will find themselves unemployed. With the dollar now worthless, people won't be going anywhere or doing anything to spend any money, A, because they won't have it, and B, the value of the dollar is done. And this is where the real problem begins. With a large section of the population now unemployed, crime will start. Crime on a scale that no one has ever seen. With people now desperate to do whatever it takes to put food on the table, to take care of themselves and their families. Lawlessness will be found in every corner of the country. Law enforcement and even the National Guard will only have a minimal impact due to the millions and millions of people that will be taken to the streets. Now comes the plan that you knew about all along, but the plan that you can't stop. This is when the government introduces the CBDC, the Central Bank Digital Currency. Everyone is going to be told they're going to have money digitally deposited into their account, which will be available immediately. And the state the nation will be in at that point, everyone will be glad to accept the new currency. You see, the plan isn't to fight you. The plan isn't to try to take you over. The plan is to make you desperate and then offer a solution that you'll gladly accept. And in order to do this, they just need to control your money. But the first step is to take your money away. And the way to do that is to make the dollar worthless. Once the new central bank digital currency is accepted, all of the new programs and systems that have been put in place will now be used. Surveillance, censorship, monitoring, everything that's needed to keep the entire population in line. As I stated before, this isn't going to be something you can fight. They control the monetary system. They control the money. And making the dollar worthless is how they pull the rug out from under you.